Hi everyone. Salesforce Development Day 2. Let's see what are we going to learn today. Today our focus is we'll quickly go through the previous session overview and we'll talk about how to create a developer edition, the Salesforce org. Basically how to create a Salesforce org. And we will see what are some use cases we will see. Use case for the how to see org details, everything we will see today. So let's go ahead and create a Salesforce org. For example, if you want to create a Salesforce org, you have to go to this developer.salesforce.com, sign up. Right? So log into this place and you need to enter the first name, last name, email ID, role, developer, and the company name, Swapna IT, and give the country, region, and the postal code. Click on sign me up. Once you are done with the sign me up, it is going to take certain time. So once 10 minutes or 15 minutes, once it is done, it will create a new org, which is called as it will create a new org. Now here the org name is, what are the username that you have specified. That's the same name you have to specify here. And what should be the password?
Read nicely.
Click on here, verify account. And provide the password. And then it will ask some certain questions. Just provide what are the related answer is there, provide that and click on the change password. Now the org gets created. I hope everybody has a org. Everybody has created the org, this is a developer edition. This is a free account where we are creating it. How can I create it? The login, I have already provided the login details. I have already provided. So once you have logged in, you will see this is the standard screen you will be able to see. This is the screen that you will see. Now here, once you log into the screen, is there anybody who don't know how to create a org? Anyone? Do we have anyone? Is everybody has a org created the credentials in the Salesforce? Any issues? Okay, I hope everyone is having the org details. So once the org is created, this is how first time you will see the scenario, right? It is will be landed onto the setup. This gets landed onto the, or you have not, okay. So the URL that I have provided, okay. So log in into this one. So what you need to do is log in here, provide the first name, last name, and provide the email ID. Whatever the role is there, you have to provide the role. Click on this drop down box, right? So in this drop down box, you have to mention the developer. You have to specify developer and company name, specify it as a Swapna IT. Now you can create it along with me. Whoever does not have it, go ahead and create the account. So developer.salesforce.com/sign me up. Go to that URL, provide the details. Okay, provide the details and company name specify the Swapna ID. Country, which are the country you are from. If it is India, India. If it is US, US. And Australia, provide the Australia and related info provided. And provide the username. Username could be anything. And check this box and click on it, sign me up. Click on sign me up. So once you click on it, sign me up, it will say that it's processing. Instead of sign, as soon as you click on it, sign me up, it changed to the processing. It's changed to the processing. So once it is done, you will receive an email. The email is, you will receive an email to the, what are the email ID that you have provided here? What are the email ID that you have provided? For that email, you will receive, for that email account, you will receive an email from the Salesforce support. Right, from the developer@salesforce.com. From the developer@salesforce.com, it says that thanks for signing me up with Salesforce. Click on the verify account. Now click on this verify account. Do not click on this URL, just click on the verify account. Once you click on the verify account, just copy the username, whatever you have given the username, and it will ask you to enter the password. Just enter the password details. Are you done with it, Ruth? Okay, so do it. Okay, so you will receive this email. So click on this here, verify account. So if you verify the account, it will open up to enter the username password. So it will just ask you to enter the new password. It will ask you to enter the new password, provide that password. This email, it is going to take at least 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It is going to take time. It is going to take time of 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Fine, let's move on. So once you have done with all the details, so you will be able to successfully. So successfully you will be able to log in, and it will be default pages setup home object manager. It will be default landed onto the setup object manager home. So these are the place where it is going to land it. And if you observe here in this page, you have a left as well as there is a one more here. It is available. So you have it, this layout is divided into the two parts. One is a left layout and then you have a mediator. Now on top what you are going to see is here. On top, this is the setup, home and object manager. This side you have a all menu options will be there. All menu options will be there. Right, so this one is setup. It is a setup, and here home button, and this is the object manager. We will come to these options later. Right now, so this is how you are going to see by default on this. As soon as you log into the Salesforce, it will be landed onto the setup on home. Setup on home. Now, this is view profile. View profile. If you click on a view profile, so what will happen is it is going to display the details who has logged into the Salesforce. It will display the details who has logged into the Salesforce. So this is the person, June Pat is the person who is logged into the Salesforce. Now, and then here in beside you have it, set up all these options. I'll come to later. I'll explain later as we go on. We will keep on discussing these options. For now, just remember you have a profile details. Your profile details are here, and by default, it will be landed down to the setup home page. Setup home page. So once it is done with the setup home page, just click on this app launcher. The 9 buttons are there, right? So click on this now. What are the 9 buttons are there? Just click on it. View all. View all. This is the app launcher. This is app launcher. And here you have a sales, marketing, all those are there. Right? You have a marketing cloud, sales cloud, service cloud, community cloud, right? So many options are, so many clouds are here. Now let's say I'm clicking on the marketing cloud. I'm clicking on marketing cloud. Now this is the screen for the marketing cloud. It will be redirected from the setup to the, you can see here marketing. You can see here marketing. So in the marketing cloud, you will see different options are visible here. You will see different options. Now again, if you want to switch it, click on again this app launcher. Now, if you want to switch to the sales cloud, so click on this sales application. Right, if you click on that sales application or a sales cloud, so it will be redirected to the sales application. It will be redirected to the sales application. Right, so this is whatever you are viewing here, this is called as a lightning view. Whatever you are able to view right now is called as a lightning view. If you see in the URL, it says lightning/page. It says lightning. In the URL itself, it is going to tell you that it is a lightning. Now let me maximize this. No, I cannot maximize that. Okay, so the URL is, it says that whatever the, you have given the company name, that company name, and by default it will add you the dev-et.develop. It will say lightning.course.com. That means this is a lightning view. That means this is a lightning view. This is lightning view. Now, in case if you want to switch to the classic, Salesforce is 2 views are there. One is a lightning view, second one is a classic view. If you click on this profile and just click on here, switch to Salesforce Classic. Switch to Salesforce Classic. When you switch to Salesforce Classic, you will see here, it is going to display, this is the classic view. In the URL, you will just see that my.salesforce.com. My.salesforce.com. And this is the classic. This is classic. In the classic, if you observe this side we have a menu options. We have a menu options. Now here, the content, if you click on this content, it will give you the different cloud details, sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud. Sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud, and you have a different options. Now, if you want to switch to the sales cloud, you can switch to the sales cloud. In case if you want to switch to the marketing, then you can click on this marketing.
Course already started.
Right, so here you have a marketing. Now from the marketing, if you want to switch back to the sales, you can switch to the sales. Now setup is available. Now who is the person logged in is, you will be able to see here June batch. Right, so June batch is the person who is logged in. So this is how in the classic view. This is classic view. In the classic view, if you want to switch the different application, you have to click on this arrow button. You have to click on this arrow button. Now, again, if you want to switch from the classic to lightning, if you want to switch from the classic to lightning, where is the option which is available here? We have a switch to lightning experience. Switch to lightning experience. If you click on the switch to lightning experience, what will happen? It will be redirected to the lightning. It will be redirected to the lightning. Now, from the lightning, if you want to switch to the From the lightning, if you want to switch to the classic, just click on this view profile and again you click on this switch to classic. From the classic to lightning, you just need to click on this switch to lightning experience. Lightning experience. So this is just an introduction about the Salesforce, how the Salesforce is there, right? So these all we will talk about later. But overall, this whoever is for the first time, I think we have a few members who are seeing this screen for the first time. Now, don't worry, this is the first time, so you will be seeing lot many options here. But so right now, the focus you need to do is just this 9 buttons, and then whatever this menu options is there, whatever this menu options is there. You have to just focus on these two. Do not focus on multiple things which we are able to see here. Do not focus on that. So when you click on this 9 button, which is nothing but you are clicking on the app launcher. This is called as a app launcher. Why we use a app launcher? In order to switch different application. Now you are in a sales application. You wanted to switch to marketing application. Then you will click on this app launcher. Again, you will click on this 9 buttons. Now again, you wanted to switch it back to the sales. Any application, if you want to switch it, what we have to do is you need to click on this 9 button. Now, who is logged in? If you wanted to know those details, you have to click on view profile. You have to click on view profile. When you click on a view profile, you will be able to see the person name here, who is the person has logged in. And in case if you want to switch to the classic, you can switch to the classic. You can switch to the classic. Now, so far we have created a org. Okay. Along with me, few more members also created in this class. Now, assume that there are 2-3 members has created along with me, right? So I have created org, which is a June batch, which is June batch. Similarly, Ruth is created the org. Similarly, Kalik is also created the org. Right, so here June batch is a different org, Ruth is a different org, and Kalik is also created a different org. Assume that few more members also created the org. Let's say that Komal is also created the org. Komal is also created the org. Now, every member has created their own. So here June batch, I have given the username. Here I have provided the username, which is a June batch @gmail.com. By providing this, I have created the username, right? I have created the username here. Now, similarly, Ruth also created the credentials. Ruth is also created the org. So assume that they are created the Ruth@gmail.com. The username is this one. Now, Kalik is also created the org. So here the username is Kalik @gmail.com. Similarly, Komal is also created the org. Komal @gmail.com. So these are the usernames. Now, whatever I have created the org, is other person should be able to view the data here, or can I view the whoever is created the org? Now this another person is created the org. Can I see the another person? What is the other person is doing their org? Can I see that information? I cannot see. I cannot see. So basically, org is restricted at the user level. Org is restricted at the user level. Now, when you created the org, every user, now whoever is created here org, that person will be getting the org ID. There is a ID that generated by the Salesforce. So that for this username, whoever is created, this is a different org. This is a different org. This is also a different org because they have created completely new developer edition. So there is a one more org ID that gets generated, right? And similarly, this colleague also, there is another org is created. And for colleague also, there is another org ID is created. Similarly, Komal is also created the developer edition. There is a new ID got generated for the Komal record. Whenever the org IDs are different, this person cannot view what is happening in the different org. This person cannot view. Even this person also, what is happening in this org, he cannot view. Right? Or Komal is want to check what is happening in this org. He will not be having the access. Komal will not be having the access to verify what is happening here. Now, if June batch want to verify what is happening in the Komal org, can I log in? I cannot log in. I cannot log in. In case if I wanted to log into the Komal org, in case if I wanted to log into the Komal org, there are two ways which we can do it. Either Komal has to create a new user for me, new user for June batch. Komal should be creating the new user in the org. Whatever this org is there, in that org, he should be creating the new username which is dedicated for June batch, Or else, Komal should share the credentials. What are the user credentials are there? The user credentials he should be sharing to. He has to share with me. Then only I can log into that particular org and I can verify what is happening in this particular org. What is happening in this particular org. So when the org is different, when the org ID is a different, instances might be same. All these are sitting in the same instances. Assume that these three are sitting in the same instances. These three is sitting in the same instances. Instance is AP27. AP27. Now they are sitting into the AP27. So when they are sitting into the AP27, still they have a different org ID. Now Komal cannot view this org details. Ruth cannot view this org details. If Komal in case want to verify what is happening, or in case if they wanted to some information. In case Komal want to verify the few scenarios in the Ruth org, then what should Komal has to do? Komal has to request Ruth saying that, can you provide me that access to log into your org? If Ruth is agreed that, okay, I'll create a username for you so that you can log into this particular org. Or else, if there is a no username, then Ruth has to share the credentials to the another org, the Komal, right? Ruth has to share the credentials, username, password of their own has to be shared to the Komal so that Komal can log into the Ruth org, right? So in the real time, we have a different people. In the real time, we have a different people. This is a real time org. This is real time org. Now, in the real time, we have a different type of orgs will be there. right? What are the different type of org? Unlimited org, unlimited or enterprise org, enterprise or like this, for example, unlimited org is there. Unlimited or mostly for a big projects or in MNC companies, they will be having the unlimited org. Unlimited org. So, for example, in the real-time scenario, whenever we have a org, now in the org can be need to be accessed by multiple people. Org needs to be accessed by the multiple people. Now, who are the multiple people? There are so many people are involved, so many members are involved, so many audience are involved. Right? So, for example, now here, for example, who are there? Customers are involved, client is involved, developers are involved, admin team is involved, BA is involved, architect is involved, right? Like there's so many people, manager, the client managers, whoever is there, they are also involved into this. Now there are so many people who needs the information whenever they wanted to see some what is happening in this particular org. This is assume that this is a org. Now in this org, what is happening? They wanted to check like a customer. Basically, customer want to verify what is whether my record is there or not, whether the record is created or not, or if I have some appointment, I wanted to check what is my appointment, right? So those are things customer want to verify. Client want to verify that who are the customers that are coming into the org. I need to check the details, or else I need to check what are the revenue generated in the last month, right? Those are the details we wanted to cross verify. Similarly, developer needs to log in because he wanted to develop the code. He wanted to develop the. Similarly, admin has to do some kind of a analysis within the Salesforce. Like this, there are so many members are there. No, I cannot share the same user ID password with multiple people. I cannot share the user ID password with multiple people. So in the real time, what we will do is we will create a different users. We will create a different users. For customers, we will create a different users, right? For client, we will create a different users. For developers also, we will create a different users. For admin also, we will create a user. BA also, we will create it. Basically, whoever wants to log into the Salesforce, they should have a username password. If they have a username password, then only they can log into the org. Then only they can log into the org. Otherwise, they cannot log in into the org. Otherwise, they cannot log in into the org. Now, if somebody wants to log in Salesforce, they should go for a username password, right? So we have a different type of unlimited enterprise, right? And we also have a professional. And these are the name unlimited enterprise professional. These are the org that are there in the real time. So in the real time, we will create the multiple users in the single org. Multiple users we will create in the single org. We will see that how to create a users later. But this is how right now the restriction is whoever is having the user for which are the org, only that org details they can view. They cannot view the other org details. They cannot view other org details. Right? Now that's about the Salesforce. Now let's go back. Now we understood at the high level what is the org, right? and who can log into the org, who all can view the details of others. We have got it. Let's take a scenario. Let's take a scenario. Now assume that I have assumed that there is a person who has completed the Salesforce course, and this person is got a job. This person is got a job in the one of the MNC company, or else let's take it as a company name is IBM. Company name is IBM. Now he got a job in the IBM company. This person completed. This person is could be a admin person, could be a developer, right? Basically, he has completed the Salesforce course. Now he is ready to work. Now he applied for a job in the IBM organization. Now he got a job in the IBM. Once this person received the job, IBM, in the IBM company, now company has assigned him to the project. Assigned him to a project. Now, what kind of a project? Assume that the project is related to the supermarket. Or let's say, let's take it as a very big one. Let's suppose we have a project, they have assigned the project which is related to the American airline. Okay, the project is related to the American airline. American airline is the project that he got it. Now, initially, what happened here? Now, American airline is contacted the IBM about the project, and they got a deal between both of them. And they have IBM is recruited the person, assigned the project. Project is related to the American airline. So here, this person is joined the company of IBM. This person is joined the company of IBM. But who is the client for him? For whom this person is working? This person is working for American airline. This person is working for American airline. So here the client is, who is the client? Client is American airline. This is the client for the developer. Now, in interview also they will ask you that what is your project? What is your project? Who is your client? Who is your client? So client is, you have to always specify is what is your client at the end project. Now whom you have worked on it. You are working in the company IBM, that is there. But for which project, for which client you have worked on? Which client you have worked on? So the client is American airline. So two things here, you are indirectly working for a client. Indirectly working for a client. But who is paying the amount? Amount is paid, salary is paid by the IBM company. But for whom you are working for? You are working for this client. Right? So in the interview also, one of the questions, starting question, they will ask you that what is your project and who is your client? Right? And whether you have worked directly with the client or not. So they are going to ask these questions. So you need to always remember client is nothing but what are the project that you have implemented, what are the project you have implemented for the organization or for the client, whoever is indirectly you have worked for it. So they are the client, they are the client. Assume that finally you have, this person has implemented a project. Finally, this person has implemented an application, a software application. He has implemented a software application here. Implemented software application. Implemented a software application. In this software application, Now, whoever is traveling through the flight, or if they wanted to send any couriers, so they can log into this application. They can enter the first name, last name, email ID, and when they wanted to travel, and how many members are going to travel, and do they want in between any food items or any comfortable business class, everything I can choose it. And finally, I can click on the submit button. This is the application is implemented. That means indirectly this person is implemented a application for client. But who will be using it here? Who will be using it? The people who are actually the end users. Now, who is the end users? End users are nothing but a customers. End users are nothing but a customers. Customers are using the application. Customers are using the application. Now, indirectly, developer is dealing with the client, dealing with the customers, helping the client, dealing with the customers. So you have three things here. One is company, second one is client, and third one is customer. Right? So everything it is indirectly is involved. The developer or a Salesforce admin or a Salesforce consulting, whoever is the Salesforce person is there, he is joined the company, but he is indirectly working for a client and helping the customer to by providing the application. By providing the application, they are helping the customers. So this is overall in the real time how we are going to implement it. Right? When you are working it, you have to remember that you are helping for the customers. You have to remember that you are working for a client. Right? Though we are going to the company IBM, but we have to always remember that I'm working for a client and we are going to help the customer. Who is this customer? The traveling customers. Traveling customers who wanted to travel from one place to another place. Traveling customers, we are helping it. Right? So this is whenever we are implementing a project, always think in terms of a customers. Always think in terms of a customers. Do not think in the different either developer way or I have implemented. Now I have to submit the logic. Now this is my code is done. Now I have submitted the I have completed the implementing development. So here is the submission. But before submission, just assume that you are a customer. You are a customer. As an end customer, use that application. As an end customer, use that application and see whether really it is helpful for the customers or not. Or is the customers are going to get any problem whenever they are using an application. Right? This is how the real time we have to keep thinking on as a customers, or sometimes we have to think as a client. So here developer is playing a role for the, sometimes he is playing it as a client, he will be testing the application. Sometimes this person will be testing the application as a customers. So need to think on both the direction, client and customers. Client and customers. Right? So if anybody is taking a notes, please take on this. Done? Taking the notes?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move on. Now, Salesforce. Salesforce introduced, right? Salesforce is, when it is introduced, when it formed Salesforce. Any idea?
1999.
1999. 1999 is a game changing for the software applications. For the most of the company, 1999 year is the game change. It's a game change for most of the company. Why it is a game change is before 1999, everybody used to have an Excel sheet. They used to maintain everything in the Excel sheet, whatever the data, reports, right? And this is one of the thing. And the second one is, if you want to use any application, you have to install in your system. You have to install in your. So before 1999, the one is everybody was using in order to store the data, they were using the Excel sheet. And the second thing is that if you want to use any application, you have to download the application in the system. Now, when the Salesforce is introduced in the 1999, they said that Salesforce is an enterprise. It's an enterprise cloud computing. When they said it's an enterprise cloud computing, as soon as everybody started focusing on the Salesforce, because it's a cloud computing. It's a cloud computing. That means I need not to download the application. I need not to download the application. So there the game change is happened in the year of 1999, and it is headquarter was in the San Francisco. Headquarter was San Francisco in the United States. So initially it's a US based company. Salesforce is a US based company. And who introduced the Salesforce? Who is the CEO of the Salesforce? Mark Benioff. Right, he is the CEO, but actually there are 4 members are there. Founders are 4 members: Mark, Parker, Dave, and Frank. These are the 4 members. So 4 members, they have started the company and they have introduced the Salesforce they have introduced and they have released it in the year of 1999. So that's how everybody started focusing on using the cloud applications. When they heard about the cloud, now everybody started focusing on the topic called cloud. Now that's a game changing for the companies, game changing for the developers, institute, everywhere. Everybody was start focusing on the cloud. Okay, they were trying to research what is this cloud, how it is going to use it. Slowly, what happened is, now Salesforce has explained the companies saying that usually small companies, Salesforce is focused on the small companies. Initially, it focused on small companies who are using the data that they are storing in the Excel sheet. First, it went to the small company and they have explained whatever you are doing in the Excel sheet. Whatever you are doing in the Excel sheet, you can do same thing in the Salesforce. You can do same thing in the Salesforce, but you need not to worry about storing the data. Automatically, it gets stored. How it is going to store in the Salesforce? In the Salesforce, data will be stored in the form of rows and columns. Data is stored in the form of rows and columns. Data is stored in the form of rows and columns. Right? You take anything in the Salesforce. You take anything in the Salesforce, whether it is a single table or a multiple table. Basically, Salesforce is, it stores the data, any data you take it. If you are entering any data in the Salesforce, that means it is storing in the table. At the back end, it is storing in the table, and it is storing in the one object. Now, if I open the Excel sheet, now below you see the sheet 1, right? Now, if I click on this place button, you can see sheet 2. If I click on a place button, you can see sheet 3. If you click on a place button, you will see sheet 4. Similarly, it's keep on adding. Right? So what you will say, all these things, you will say that sheet 1 tab, or sheet 2 tab, sheet 3 tab, sheet 4 tab, sheet 5 tab, sheet 6 tab, right? Now if you go to the sheet 1, now this sheet 1 is storing the details of customer. And sheet 2 is storing the details of company. Sheet 3 is storing the details of client. Sheet 4 is storing the details of developers. Okay, or let's say organization details. Like this, you have every sheet, you are storing a certain information. Now, sheet 1, what it is saying, that customer information. When we say customer information, usually it is a first name, last name. What is the customer last name? And the customer email ID, customer phone number, customer address, right? And maybe a few more details, we will take it. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm entering the data in the spreadsheet. Now, this is my header. Right? This is the header. Now, customer is the sheet name. Now, here I'll rename this. Sheet name is a customer. Now, I have these details. This is the header. Now, next time when I open this sheet, what I'll do, I'll keep on adding the details. For example, I'll add the details of so let's say here first name is Ramesh and last name is Arvind, and I'll add some email ID here. What I'm doing here, I'm adding the details of customers. Now here some phone number, I'm giving the phone number, similarly address. Now, next day, if a new customer comes into the mall or new customer is came to us, then what we will do, we will add a new customer, right? So here I keep on adding the details here. Similarly, in the Salesforce, you have a different tables. You have a different tables in the Salesforce. In the Salesforce, you have a different tables. What are those different tables? Now here, like a sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 is there, right? Similarly, here also you will see some tabs. Customer tab, client tab, right? And organization tab. And few other tabs. Like this, you will keep on seeing the tab. Now, when you click on this customer tab, what will happen? It will open up the related customer data. Now, when it open up the customer data, now you can add the records here. This is the first name, and this is first name, and this is last name, this is email ID, phone number, right? And then you will have a address details. If it is a Aadhaar number, PAN card. So all this data, I'll keep on entering the information here in the each row. In the each row, you are entering the details. And then here you will click on save. But so this is what they have explained to the Excel sheet. That means what is happening here, instead of using the Excel sheet, they can go for a Salesforce. That is another game change. That is another game change for the company. Now, here, are they entering directly in the table here in the Salesforce? Now in the Excel sheet, I'm entering the direct data directly in the Excel sheet. But in Salesforce also, am I entering the data directly in the rows? No, I'm not entering in the rows directly. I'm not entering the data in the rows. I'm entering the data separately. I'm entering the data differently. Now here I'll go here. We have a one table. This is one table. Account is nothing but a customer. Account is nothing but a customer. Now, if I click on a new button, if I click on new button, it will open up the record. It will open up the record. Now it is going to ask some details about the customer. It is going to ask some details about the customer. What is the first name? What is the account name? And what is the website, phone number, right? What is the address? Like these are the different information we will ask it and we will save the record. We will save the record. As soon as we save the record, then the data is sits into the rows. Then the data is sits into the rows. That means here whenever you click on a customer, whenever you click on a customer, what is happening? It is we are clicking on here new button. There is a button called new button. You click on any navigation item or you click on any tab. Either you click on this, either you click on this tab, this tab. Every tab has a new button. Every navigation item, whether you click on customer navigation item, whether you click on a different navigation item, as soon as you click on it, you will see one button called as a new button. One button called new button. If you click on the new button, what will happen? It is going to open up the new window where you need to enter the certain information. Where you need to enter the certain information and finally you need to click on the save button. As soon as you click on the save button, as soon as you click on the save button, what is happening? As soon as you click on the save button, it goes to the database. It goes to the database. Now inside this database, it will try to find out where is the customer table. This is database. This is a Salesforce database. Now here inside this database, there are so many tables are there. There are so many tables are there. Inside this table, it will try to find out where is my customer table. Now, as soon as it finds the customer table, okay, this is the customer table. Okay, we have received the new details. Now store it into the row. Now it is going to pass the information. Okay, this is the customer table and this is the new record. Okay, store the new records here. So that's how the data gets stored into the database in the form of rows and column. Now, whatever this table is there, whatever this is, the table is there, right? This is table. Whatever this table is there in Salesforce terminology, we call it as an object. In Salesforce terminology, we call that as an object. We call object, customer object, client object, and what else we have? Company object. That means each table we will consider as a one new object. Each table we will consider as a object. Table is nothing but a object in Salesforce. Table is nothing but object in Salesforce. Similarly, we have another concept. Now here we have a fields, right? Here we have a fields like a first name, last name, email, phone number, address, Aadhaar, PAN card. We have a fields, right? These are the column name. What are the column name is there? Not that column name. What are the header name or a column name is there? That is called as a field. Which is fields. Whatever the each column is there. First name is the field, last name is the field, email is the field, phone number is the field, account is the address is the field, Aadhaar number is a field, PAN card number is a field. Each individual is called as a field. Each individual is called as a field. And whatever the data we are entering into the row. What are the data that I am entering in this row, right? Whatever the data entering into the row is called as this is a row, right? Normally in Excel sheet, we call it as a row. In Salesforce, we call it as a record. In Salesforce, we call it as a record. Row is nothing but a record. In Salesforce terminology, it is a record. We are storing the data in the record, right? Account record, customer record, right? Single customer record. For example, here I am entering the customer details of Ramesh. I'm entering the customer details of Ramesh. Now, as soon as I click on save, what will happen? Ramesh record is created inside the object. Ramesh record is created inside the object. Ramesh record is created in the customer object. Ramesh record is created inside the customer object. Now see here, one is a record, right? Record is nothing but a row. And second one here, I'm saying the object. Right? The other one which is called as a object. Record and object. Whatever the data we are storing in the each cell, whatever the data that we are storing in the each cell. Now here in this cell, I'm storing the last name data, right? In this, I'm storing the first name data. And in this, I'm storing the email field, right? I'm storing that. Right here, I can say here. So these are the data. We call it what are the information we are storing here, which is called as a data in Salesforce. Here I'm storing the information of first name. And here I'm storing the information of last name. Right here I'm storing the information of email. And in Salesforce terminology, we call them as a data. Right, so object, fields, record, data. Object, fields, record, data. These are the common words we will be keep on using it. I'll be using the object, I'll be using the field, I'll be using the record, I'll be using the data. These are the common words will be used whenever we work on a Salesforce. right? So these are the few things which will be keep on talking. Information data is same, but we call it as a data. Data which, whatever the data that is entered by the customer, that means whatever the information is entered by the customers, whatever the information is entered by the customers, or whatever the data is entered by the customers. Few members will say data, few members will say information. It's depending on whom you are talking to. For example, if you have a BA in your company, business analyst is there, right? Business analysts say that whatever the information is entered by the customer, they will say information. If you are talking to the developer will say that what are the data is entered by the user, right? It's depending on whom you are talking. If you are talking to the technical guy, they will use the data terminology. If you are talking to the business analyst or more in terms of the business people, then they will say information. Both are same. Right? Now take a notes of it if you want to take a notes. Done? Completed, taken the notes. Okay, so let's move on. Now in Salesforce, right? So far we have understood table, right? Now in Salesforce, there is a something concept called master table. Master table. Master table is nothing but there are some data, there is some information, right? Or data. Usually we do not change it. When I say master table, let's take an example of Amazon. Let's take an example of Amazon. Now, whenever you are created the credentials for the Amazon account, only for the first time you will keep the address, PIN code, whatever is there, you will keep entire data, right? You later, this is a basically customer data, right? This is customer information, customer user ID, password, customer address, right? Few details you will give it. Now this data, whatever you have entered the customer data, every day you will not change it. Every day you will not change it, right? So very rare scenario, as soon as your account or your credentials are created with the proper information, you never touch customer information at all in the Amazon. right? You look for the products and different items, you will look at it, but you never touch the customer information. Those kind of a tables are called as a master table. Master table is nothing but a table which does not
Planting.
change the data. But master table is nothing but a table which does not change the data, but the data is used most frequently. Such tables are called as a master table. Such tables are called master table. Like here, you will create this customer information. You never change it, but you will use this information. Similarly, in the bank, now, for example, you wanted to transfer the details to the another bank person. Now, first time you will add it. Only for the first time you will add it. Right, once you add the details there, now do you change every time? You will not change the again the same person details, again adding the same information, you will not change it. But it is one time effort creating the record, but that record is used most of the times you use it. So similarly, Amazon, you will not change anything about the customer information, but whenever you are going to order anything, you will use this customer information, right? You will be using that data very frequently, but you will not change the data. Those tables are called as a master table. Those tables are called master table. Now, master tables in the Salesforce is divided into the two types. Master tables are divided into the two types. One is customer master. Second one is a product master. Customer master, product master. Customer master is nothing but any person who is in any interested person. Now I wanted to use some entertainment app. Maybe you guys know AHA or Netflix, whatever is there, right? So you wanted to use, you are very interested to using the AHA app or different apps, right? Now they are called as a customer master. That means any interested person, they will create a customer master data. Now, any interested person is nothing but a customer details. The customer who are interested to log in or who are interested on the product, who are interested on the business, they are called as a customer data. Now, in Salesforce, the example for the customer master data is account and contact. There are two objects which we have, account and contact. Account is nothing but what kind of a data will be stored in the account. In the account, the data will be stored related to the business, related to the company, right? If you want to store the company details, you will store it into the account. If you want to store the organization details, you can store it into the account. And if you want to store the proof information, there is some proof details you wanted to add in the account in the Salesforce, then we will go for an account. Or else you wanted to add a society information. Or else individual users also, it will be there. Individual interested person. Account is nothing but a customer. Account is nothing but a customer details. In the account, what kind of a data we will store it? In the account, we will store the data related to the business, data related to the company account, business account, organization account, group account, society account, and individual interested person account. We will store these kind of a information in the account object. in the account object. Whereas contact is nothing but where we need a specific person details, where we need specific person details. Now here I say company. Now Infosys, I'll give the company. Now we have stored the Infosys account. Inside the Infosys account, there are few employees who want to buy laptop. Now in that case, what we will do, it's an employee want to, single person want to buy a laptop. If the single person want to buy a laptop, then what we will do is it's a single person details. So what we will do, we will go for a creating a contact, that specific contact, and link this contact to the Infosys company. So account is nothing but a more of a business related information. Contact is nothing but a more of a person details, like a person, first name, last name, email, phone number, those kind of thing. Account is nothing but more of a business. That's the reason when you go to the account object. When you go to the account object, now here click on account. Now what do you see here? Rating, website, account number, account site, right? And how many employees are there? How many employees are there? What is the annual revenue? And then you will see what is the customer priority, whether this business is active or not. What is the number of locations that this business is selling the products? So this is more of a business related information. Account is more of a business related, right? So if there is a problem, sometimes it is possible that individual person also can be created in the account. Individual person also can be created because the single person is selling some information or single person want to buy some information. He is not part of any business. The person is not part of any business. The person is not part of any company. In that case, if you want to store the individual account, we can store it. But if the person is part of a business and that business is in the Salesforce, then what we will do is we will create a contact and we will link that contact to the employee. We will link the contact to the employee. Is that clear? Master table. Customer master is a two types, account and contact. In the account, we store the information related to the business, and in the contact, we will store the relation related to the single person. Single person, we will store the information. Take a notes of it. Okay, so today go through this account table. Okay, account and contact. Account and contact, try to understand what is happening here, right? Because whenever you create a record, there will be a record that gets created here. Or else you can see here, click on this, all the accounts, right? You will be able to see few records that are already there in the system. Now we will talk tomorrow how to create a account, how to create a contact, and how can we implement a hierarchy of the account, how to implement a hierarchy to the account and contact. So everything we will see tomorrow.